Ryan, we had a 2-hour countdown as we do every week, and we try to balance the fun and setting the table for a game because that's what we had, and yet it was framed entirely differently tonight because after Dallas played on Monday night at home and had a bye, they lost a teammate in the middle, and it's tragic and it's heavy, and they really honored him, and I think Dak, who we just visited with, really set an incredible and emphatic tone. What did you see that impressed you most about how they processed?
Well, I think the first thing was this game didn't start out the way that this team wanted to, right? You saw CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens on the sideline. There was a sack fumble from Max Crosby. This is the team that could have imploded, a team that could have said, okay, we didn't play well the last 2 games. We've been going through all of this for the last week and a half and not come out and continue to fight the rest of the game. It was his execution in the zone. It was hitting his wide receivers and giving them opportunities to get yards after the catch, and it was leadership. He said before the game that they were going to play for their brother, that they were blessed and privileged to have that opportunity, and he led that way tonight, and he also played the game in that same sort of manner with that same level of joy.
And I think we understand you frame it correctly. This Raider team has struggled, and the hill gets much steeper moving forward. But if this defense is going to play like that, it's going to give that offense a chance, I think, to win some football games and at least make them scary to deal with down the stretch.
Well, think about this. Early on in the season, wasn't that what we were asking for from them, right?
Exactly.
To at least have a competent defensive effort to pair with an offense that can be absolutely explosive.
That's before they had Quinn and Overshawn comes back, who's a difference maker
Malik
as well.
Hooker is back tonight,
him too,
right?
thank you.
Right, you have 2 young corners who hadn't played the entire year. There were so many players on this defense that Matt Eberflus was missing the entire year.
All right, so you mentioned that Pickens and Lamb on the sidelines to start, and then once they got out there, they were, impactful. That's an understatement. They explained afterwards what the absence was about at the beginning of the game.
George, we were told that you didn't start this game due to a coach's decision. What were you told about why?
I don't think, I feel like certain personnels are built, for the running game. We kind of knew that we could exploit them running-wise, so a lot of heavy personnels.
Man, just stepping up and playing how we play, man. Do what we do. We out there for a reason, and it was fun.
What was the reason for not playing?
I'm not going in depth on that, honestly. I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Okay, so they didn't explain what it was. They were asked questions about why they weren't there. So whether we get any specifics or not, once they were out there, Ryan, they played like what they are, which is one of the very best 1-2 combos.
And Keon Coleman was a healthy scratch for the Buffalo Bills. And he was a healthy scratch because he was late to a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
When you're as good as George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, there are certain things that you can do that only get you a series that may get other players entire games. And I'm being real.
No, I smile because I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
you got to be, your talent has to outweigh your problems. That's the saying.
Extraordinary talent gets you extraordinary tolerance. And when you heard what CeeDee Lamb said, when we play, we do what we do. And this is what we've been expecting and have seen in certain moments from these guys. If you can get this throughout the rest of this season and this defense continues to come along, it's just like you said in commercial, Scott. You give yourself a chance in every single game to be competitive.
Troy was quick to correct me when I said it could be reasonable that they could be a playoff team, and he's right. It's going to take a lot. They got to thread the needle. They don't have any wiggle room. But I don't think it's a stretch to say if this defense is going to continue to grow together, that they're going to be frightening to play against. Do you share that?
But isn't that, that's the point, right? That's where Brian Schottenheimer needs this team to get to.
Mm-hmm.
People need to be scared to play against the Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphias, the Los Angeles Rams, those sort of teams need to look at the schedule when the Dallas Cowboys are on there and think to themselves, this is going to be a battle that goes down to the wire. And if you can do that for the rest of the season, that's the type of the level of excitement that you want in your locker room that keeps these guys locked in until the end of the season.
They get a bunch of high-profile home games. They tend to live there around the Thanksgiving time and the late going in the season. We'll see if it continues to be something where they continue to honor their teammate and channel their best. Go ahead.
Two things before we go. Your leadership as we headed into the show was absolutely amazing. The way you set the tone, the conversations we had off air. But also I want to get to Brian Schottenheimer's leadership. What he did these last few weeks and seemingly caring about the people in his locker room over the players. He didn't see those guys as liabilities. He saw them as players. He didn't see them as assets. He saw them as humans. And that's something that goes into a coach's hat that you cannot teach. That's something that that man learned. That's something that he was born with. That's something that who he is. And I think a lot of that goes to his father, Marty Schottenheimer, as well.
I agree. We don't move on, but we move forward. I wrote that down, and I keep leaning on it because I think what a beautiful way to frame something, a loss that is going to not leave them. I appreciate what you had to say, but you know what this is about. Yeah. I mean, games are fun, but people are what matter to all of us, and hopefully we did our job in honoring this young man.